by auditory stimuli, by tactile stimuli, and so the blind people become, almost supernaturally sensitive in many other ways. They will reach out to sound, to touch, to smell, and those parts of the brain will develop instead. In general, people born blind are disposed to be more musical, and I think blindness must be important with Derek.
Just a final blues or something?
A final blues. Basin Street Blues.
Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Basin Street Blues. In C. In C. C.
Should we do it together or do you want to do it as a solo?
Do it together and as a solo.
Oh, all right. Because you always play my parts, do you?
I do.
Go on then.
And do it together as well. All right.
Although fascinating people like Derek are at the heart of his writing, in his latest book, Oliver Sacks turns a lens on his own life. He was born in London in 1933, the fourth and youngest child of two doctors, themselves the children of Jewish immigrants. Going back to your childhood, your parents were both medical practitioners, and they were very, very musical, is that right?
My father was very musical. He would always have sort of tiny, I see there's one here, he would always have these little miniature scores in his pockets, and between patients he would take them out and look at them, and he'd maintain that he could hear an entire orchestra or choir in detail, that he didn't need a record player.
You mean he could just hear it in his head?
He could hear it in his head, and particular instruments could be emphasized, and he would mentally conduct it. I was in awe of this. My mother was the opposite. She could hardly hold a tune in her head, although she was fond of music, and she loved Schubert. She loved singing. I feel tearful when I think of some of the songs she sang in a slightly off-key, slightly Cockney way, but with great feeling. The house was full of music, and it was also full of science and medicine, and so in a way they formed natural partners.
Oliver Sacks earned his medical degree from Oxford University and moved to New York in the 1960s, where he started work at Beth Abraham Hospital in the Bronx. Events that took place here inspired his book Awakenings and had a profound effect on him. This was the first place he witnessed the therapeutic power of music. When he arrived here, the corridors were lined with patients suffering from a type of encephalitis, sleepy sickness, a paralyzing disease that is rare today but affected over 1 million people around the world in the 1920s. Remarkably, Sacks found that the drug L-Dopa brought some of the patients out of their catatonic states. But he also discovered that even without the drug, there was one thing that could stir them.
These people, unable to take a step by themselves or utter a syllable, could dance, could sing, and could come completely alive for a while with music. That, for me, was the first, it stunned me. It still stuns me to see it. It was an absolute revelation. They were liberated by music. They were freed by music.
Today, Beth Abraham is home to the Institute for Music and Neurologic Function and is a world leader in clinical music therapy. The basic idea is that music can help recover damaged brain function by activating parts of the brain that are nearby. Sacks serves as a medical advisor to the Institute. Its motto, "Music has power," attracted the usually reclusive musician Moby to become a patron and board member.
It seemed borderline absurd and miraculous. I couldn't believe it, that people who can't speak are able to sing, and people who can't walk are able to dance. see either of those. Like, is there some sort of messiah involved in this? What they're doing at the Institute, the way they're almost rewiring the brain. You know, like if you have a damaged part of the brain through music therapy, but you're able to almost sort of like reroute around the damaged part. The way the brain can sort of very adaptively rewire itself, it really is miraculous.